All right, y'all. On this one, I wanted to cover a topic I have before, but we gonna go a little more on this one. So this one is, why are most black gay men single, yet posting online saying how they're looking for a boyfriend, how available they are, and this and that, but everyone just stays and remains single. All right, check this out.
Gay men be like, ugh, I'm so single. Where are all the good men at? But then block someone because they asked to go on a picnic date instead of taking them to Nobu. Okay, no, because let's be for real. Y'all want a 6'2" boyfriend who goes to the gym every single day, makes six figures, has perfect skin, and doesn't drink, but somehow is the main character at every single party he's at. Where are all the emotionally available, financially stable, loyal tops that look like Greek gods with no red flags? They're fictional, bestie. You're describing a Pixar dad and Jesus at the same time. Meanwhile, the guy who actually wants you has a receding hairline and a hobby of building Legos, but you said ew. The truth is, we can't all have a Henry Cavill with a minor in astrology. Sometimes your soulmate is someone who just got back from Magic the Gathering and lives with three roommates. Love isn't always hot. Sometimes love is 5'8", works in IT, and texts back immediately, but you ghosted him because his chest wasn't big enough. That's on you, mama.
Okay, so first off, 100, that's just not true. Okay, now maybe in the white community that might be something that's going on, but that's the reason why I be saying black gay issues, because we be having different issues straight up. All right, the truth is that is not really the truth. Okay, they can find a dude that's 5'8", their type. They're still gonna, make some compromises. He may not be perfect, but they'll still be willing to, and they still can't get that going either, because niggas is not either physically available, emotionally available, or mentally available. All right, I'm about to crack this down for y'all real quick. So the reason why there's so many guys online talking about how they are looking for a boyfriend and they, tired of being single, etc., but they all stay single, it comes down to really three main things, and there's other subcategories that fall under them, but these are the main three things. Okay, so if you are saying that, but then you are still single, you are either physically unavailable, mentally unavailable, or emotionally unavailable. Check this out. Physical unavailability looks like you work too much, so a nigga can't really get to see you until certain time frames of the day, which is usually for hookups and booty call area or time, and you get kind of trapped into just being a dude that people come through, kick it with, smoke with, smash on, maybe stay the night, maybe not, go to work in the morning. Y'all might link up next weekend or 2 weeks from now. That's gonna keep you single because, yes, you're meeting the dudes, so you're not like not having access. So it's not that. It's not that they're not attracted to you because they're sleeping with you. So what it is it's either you're too feminine, they don't want to deal with you because they only want to smash you. They don't want to, go out in public because they don't want to be, or seen as gay, whatever, depending on the kind of dude that you're dating. Okay, or the dude just doesn't want commitment, or he doesn't want you, or he looks at it like you're just to smash and not to get in a relationship with. So that could be another one. Or you could be doing these same things as well. I'm just saying it's happening on either one of y'all's end as to why y'all still ended up single. Okay. Or another form of being physically unavailable is you are still entertaining exes. Okay. So you don't have a lot of time to meet nobody new because you're still dealing with, trying to be up under your ex, or you getting smashed by your ex, or you still smashing your ex, etc. And that could be, and or you're taking up all your time with family and friends. If you are one of those dudes that is like, oh, I gotta take care of my mom, I gotta take care of my family, and you're spending all your time with your friends and your family, and then you're sitting up here asking why you ain't got no boyfriend, well, because you're with your friends and your family. Okay, like you don't have no time for no boyfriend. Okay, straight up, that's just 100. Okay. I said, okay, way too much. I got to take them out. So yeah, taking up all your time one way or the other, work, friends, family, exes, type shit. All right. Number 2, or you are mentally unavailable, meaning selfish minded, can't be vulnerable, insecurities is in your head, too much, controlling, etc. This is when, you battling insecurities, you done probably been cheated on, you going through what you done been through, and it's showing. and you're not really healing from it. So it's kind of like it's driving the way you think, you perceive stuff. So you could be being controlling out of a defense mechanism, meaning you don't want nobody getting too close to try to hurt you or be on some bullshit and waste your time. So you trying to control every scenario, you looking out for every single red flag, and it's actually preventing you from building a genuine connection because you're trying to popcorn it. And you have to actually be able to take your time to get to know people. If you're trying to speed date through people, now there's a smart way to do that, but you have to be giving an open dialogue with them. You can't be expecting people to just show their hand immediately and you ain't even been around somebody like a week or two. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't just open up immediately and it's an open book like that. So you got to have patience. So basically you might not have patience to get to know nobody. You're scarred from all the other shit and you really just at the end of the day probably just want a nut. Is not worth the effort to you. You rather just get you a nut because doing all this extra is just too much for you. You don't have the capacity to deal with it. All right, that's where mental unavailability is. You just want to smash because it gets down to that, because that's the least effort you have to put in. You basically don't have the passion to really engage in a real relationship and build something. You know what I'm saying? That's one example. Yeah, being too controlling, having to be in control of every narrative, not being able to be vulnerable. There's no way you're going to get a man if you can't be vulnerable. I know a lot of y'all got that, oh, I ain't depending on a nigga for shit mindset, independent mindset. Yeah, because it's a defense mechanism, because you have to make sure you have your back because ain't nobody else going to. But you can still maintain that with a multitask mindset of I'm going to still be straight and make sure I'm good, but I'm also going to make sure that, you know, I'm feeding my quality of life, not just my survival. You got to get out of survival mode. That means you in survival mode. If you look at it like, oh, I just don't need no nigga for nothing, so I don't need no nigga. I don't need to open up. I don't need to be vulnerable. I don't need to be, you know, I don't need to sacrifice nothing because I just don't need no nigga. Yeah, he gonna fit me like a glove, or fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be single because you have to compromise. Relationships are a give and take. All right, straight up. So that is pretty much the most on the mental side. You know, you're just that could fall in different ways though. You know, it could be right now you trying to get your life together, you trying to focus on your career. Well, yeah, you're mentally gonna stud yourself because what you put your heart into, what you put most of your energy into, is what is gonna succeed. So if you don't put any energy into a relationship and think that it's just gonna come to you because you focused on your career and all that, because you got your life together, it's just supposed to come. Like, love is just supposed to come. I don't have to put any energy there. Meaning basically don't look for it. No, you do got to look for it, okay? It's 2025, and if you don't look for it, you will get overlooked, okay? This isn't the days where, you know, you could just focus on yourself and somebody you can meet at the grocery store and it's just like that. That's just not how people are no more. If you don't put yourself out there, you will be left out for the most part, unless you're lucky, all right? You don't want to bet on luck in this lifestyle. So, yeah, those are all examples of just mentally not being available. All right. Now, moving down to emotional unavailability. That means you have not healed, still broken from childhood trauma, or exes, or just bitter and emotionally immature. So this is numerous of things as well. You're hurt, you're not healed. It could be from childhood all the way up to exes, the last ex, the last nigga that you was trying to get with but didn't happen. You're dealing with self-esteem issues, so you feel unworthy or you feel bitter. And in that case, you've become obsessed with, like, you know, you kind of got some narcissistic traits, avoidant traits. You're trying to protect your heart because you're just so vulnerable and insecure, kind of like you really don't, you know, have love to give because you don't really love yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. You have to be able to take time to heal, self-reflect on everything, analyze why it happened, analyze was it wrong on your part or somebody else's, and then go from there. If it's wrong on other people's part, you give them back that issue, or you recognize that you were a victim that had nothing to do with it, and you still go and get the benefits of life that you deserve, because you do not deserve to be studied because of what someone else did to you. If you was the one that did something wrong, it's time for you to make amends with that spiritually with God. And if you got to do some apologizing and all that, go back and do that too. You know what I'm saying? This is how you heal. When you ignore shit, you think you're just going to keep it pushing. You ain't going to right no wrongs. You ain't going to address none of these elephants in the room. Well, you'll be bearing the weight of the elephant then. And you will not be in a relationship. That's the point. Either be brave enough to face these fears head on, or you're going to submit to them and you ain't going to benefit shit. It's one of the two. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. And they think that, oh no, I don't have to do none of the work. I just have to exist. And they put all their work into their career, because that at least you can guarantee that, because you can't really guarantee a spouse and a partner, but you can control your career. So a lot of gay men trust in working on that and putting more energy into that, but then they forget to put energy into their quality of life. Quality of life is healthy relationships, bonds with people and shit. We're humans. We need other connection. All right. So, to count on our happiness. Now, we can survive without people, but we can't be full without people, bro. Let's be real. Get off this high horse. Okay. So, while you focusing on your career, let's focus on your quality of life, because you'll be a real rich motherfucker. And you'll get rich, because if you don't get rich, then you really ain't really hit on shit. You sacrifice all that time to not even really be on nothing like that. A lot of these niggas look at, like, if they can get to a point where they have enough money where they can travel and be comfortable and have their own shit, that's really all that they get to. That's the life of a gay man right there. That ain't find nobody. And you gonna be traveling all these different places, getting tired of that shit, being alone, traveling overseas and shit, because you can't count on your friends all the time. That shit dangerous. It's dangerous just growing old alone anyway, period. All right? So it's just not really the smartest thing to do for your quality of life. And if you care about yourself, you'll focus on your quality of life. If you just in survival mode, you're not even going to be worried about this shit I'm talking about. As long as you can, put a roof over your head and have some money in a savings account, you'll feel like you done made it. And that's not making it to a nigga who knows what life can give. That's just existing. Okay? So, yeah, y'all, definitely work on yourselves, reflect, be the best version of yourself that you can be, and you will attract alignment. You will get all those people away from you who is not aligned into the right direction if you are moving in the right direction, because they're going to get turned off by you. You're going to require too much emotion. They're going to be turned off because you're too serious. They want some little play toy boy, and you know what I'm saying? It's not a diss to you. It's good riddance. You dodged a bullet. Quit feeling like you gotten rejected because these niggas ain't shit, and you can't fuck with none of them because they can't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Quit getting all lonely and then going, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and indulge because I'm lonely. I don't know when no nigga's going to come. Well, then you'll be stuck in hookup culture. I mean, this is how this goes, y'all. Do the hardest thing. The hardest thing to do is usually the best thing for you. But if you don't have the nuts to do it, you're going to fall for all the bullshit. All right. What else do I want to say on this one? Oh. The main thing that y'all want to look out for to prevent and wasting a lot of time, I'm going to give y'all some game on this. The main thing you want to make sure of is that they want the same end result as you in this relationship. A lot of the time, we get in relationships with people, or we get to dating people, getting our feelings all involved with them, and we have never had a conversation on what are they actually looking for and what do they see as an end goal with their life. Okay, it should say something like, I want to be successful, have my own car, crib. I want to have my own career. I want to be, or I'm already have all that, but I want to, continue to elevate, grow, or I want to be consistent, maintain it, but I also want to share it with somebody and, maybe that's marriage, maybe that's just we just stay together, maybe not get married, but a relationship is involved in their plan. If all they say is shit about their career and they ain't mention nothing about nobody else, or if they mention their own family, like they mama and them, but they don't mention nothing about a romantic relationship, you best believe every time they get a chance to look at this relationship as something setting them back, they will be ending it. Okay? You need to be with somebody who looks at it like, I'ma be good anyway, but a relationship's gonna add. You know what I'm saying? Not subtract. A lot of people look at relationships like they subtract. You don't want to fuck with nobody like that, because you will be putting all this emotion in them just to look up. And these motherfuckers, y'all gonna be single, and you'll look up, and they won't be really that bothered because you poured all this love into them, but they never was really even into this for that. They didn't really care about being with nobody. They just was trying to get from one point to the next, or they were just trying to have fun, or they were just trying to experience some shit or something. Like, you don't want to pour all your love and all this energy and time and money into somebody and it go to waste, because that to me is the only time it's a waste. If it's a genuine relationship and it just so happened not to work out, well, at least y'all both had a journey that y'all walked together. What you don't want to do is give all this to somebody who actually doesn't value this. This is not what they're looking for. They don't care about that. No, a lot of narcissists are like that. They don't really care about y'all relationship. They just want someone to admire them, make them feel good about themselves and everything. If it's about them only, you will regret it and it will be a waste of your time. All right. So make sure that this person is actually looking for an end all be all with someone. Otherwise, just leave them be. All right. Because you will regret it. All right. I'm telling y'all that because I had did, a little looking back on an ex that I was with in 2020. He knows who he is, you know what I'm saying? I have talked about him before. He's my only ex, since my boyfriend now. I've had flings in between them, but yeah, that's my only ex for real. We broke up in 2020, and I was madly in love with this nigga, and he claimed that he loved me too. But when I go back to think, I went and looked at his social media because we still cool. We don't got no bad blood. You know what I'm saying? And he's, doing his thing at the radio station. That's, like he's, doing a little something. But then I thought about it when I saw that on his page. Like, I'm like, damn, that's all that nigga gave a fuck about. When we was together, that's all he talked about was the radio station, being successful in his career. He was so worried about chasing his dreams that I realized I was just a stepping stone to this nigga's dreams, when this nigga didn't even really care about no relationship. I could tell by the way it ended and everything. He never valued no relationship. Because even now, 5 years later, this nigga don't got no boyfriend. He's doing radio shit. But what do I got? I got my career shit going, and I got me a partner because I value that. So like I said earlier in the video, what you put your energy into, you will get. So make sure you're putting your energy into the right shit. If you put your energy in drama, you will be in drama 5 years from now, 10 years from now. If you putting your energy into bullshit, you will be in bullshit 5 years to 10 years from now. If you putting yourself only into your career, you will only have a career. If you putting yourself only in a relationship, now you might not even get that, because motherfuckers don't really vibe with people who don't have nothing else going for themselves. But you might have a relationship because you didn't put all yourself, but you're going to be the lesser one in the relationship. You're going to be getting, abused and controlled and shit possibly, but you'll have you a relationship. You get what I'm saying? This is how this shit goes. Okay? So I wasn't mad or anything when I saw it. It just was a humbling time to see, like, oh, wow. This is all he ever wanted. And I put all that love and energy and money I wasted on this nigga. If I would have known that all this nigga cared about for real was his career, I would have never did all that. You know what I'm saying? So even though it may not be the worst experience and y'all had good times and everything, doesn't mean you won't regret putting all that energy into something that just didn't really care about that. You know what I'm saying? You got to take that into consideration. Everybody's not as lovey-dovey as you. Everybody may not want to be with somebody, get married and all that. You need to make sure that shit from jump. All right? That's it for this one. Let me know what y'all think. Hit them comments up. Like this video. Hey, I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.
No, I don't give a fuck about what anyone say. No, I don't give a fuck about what anyone say.